Good afternoon, everybody. It's wee Paddy from across the shuck and back at you with another video. And today we're going to talk about the new Jack Wolf knife. And then we're going to have a bit of a ramble on the pattern itself, which is an equal end Jack or Churchill or cigar pattern, whichever you want to call it. But to me, I've really been looking forward to this one because this probably is, out of all knives, one of my favourite patterns. It really is, because to me it's a universally comfortable in hand knife that can't offend anybody. It's just a super product. I think this pattern is amazing, and I want to share why I think that is. So this is the new Jack Wolf. This is their Gateway series. As you can see, Jack Wolf himself going in through the gate to knife Nirvana, and just a lovely little box, I have to say. It's this is the sleeve, and then you've got a nice little box on the inside. Nice packaging, really nice. So what are we talking about? Well, here we are. There's this, and this is the red bone, smooth red bone, which you can see is beautifully dyed. No colour gaps. There's obviously differences in the colour where it goes dark and light, but that's the same with all dyed bone. Bone just doesn't take it exactly the same. I think this is stunning. I love the red bone. I don't have many knives in red bone, but this is really well done, good dye. And I'm going to be a bit boring here because I'm just going to say I can't find fault with this knife. I cannot find a single fault with a knife. It's a bit like my Rosecraft. It's just beautifully put together. The fit and finish is exceptional. It's on the high end of exceptional. It really is, right down the centre. Lovely deep nail nick. It looks like a little thin nail nick, but my God, your fingernail gets right in. Look at that, right into it. Makes it incredibly easy to open. It's about a 5.5, 6. But then it goes up to about a 7.5, that last part of the pull. Lovely half stop. Lovely torque. It's just lovely. The walk, the talk is lovely. It just seals up beautifully. The blade is a lovely fatter type spear, but it is beautiful. It hasn't got the biggest of points. Doesn't need to. Really doesn't need to. In use, it is fabulous. It is one of the sharpest edges I've had on an especially, and I'm going to call it a budget, but sort of the lower end range of knives. This was £80 shipped to me in the UK, which is pretty good. It goes from China to America, from America to here. You got customs, you got everything. So £80 for this quality of knife. It's in 14C28N, great steel, super steel. Nothing wrong with that. It's not a super steel, but it is a very good steel, easy to sharpen, easy to maintenance of it is beautiful, stainless steel. But this is the most interesting part, this handle. So it's equal end, i.e. they're both the same size, and then you have this lovely straight. It's like holding a lovely curved stick. I mean, no matter what position you want to hold this in, it is comfortable. It really is just comfortable, and it'll do for anybody's hand. So this is a knife, it doesn't matter what size. I have a large hand, and if I go up to a castle there, I've still got knife sticking out, so I don't need to. I can hold back here, and it's a good, strong retention, but it has some pushback, which is just fantastic. And that is the joy of an equal end knife. It's just universally comfortable in hand. And we're often griping and moaning, myself included, about, the handle looks lovely, but in hold, it's not the best, but it's a pocket knife, so I'll put up with it. But this isn't. I've never known anybody could pick one of these up and say, oh gosh, that's incredibly comfortable. So if you've never had one of these knives, I think this is a super gateway, exactly what it says in the tin. It's a fantastic gateway option to get in. There's 5 different coverings. There's micarta, there's carbon fibre, there's wood, linen micarta. I mean, there's 5. Go to his website and just check them out. I got this one from Heine Haynes. which I'm not happy about. It took 6 days to get from England to Northern Ireland, which is bloody ridiculous. So, but that's my other gripe. That's for another show. But it was really well worth waiting for. It was just a stunning, stunning knife. Really, really happy with it. I'm glad that he's, kept, because I've got the original one. Let me just get that out for you. And if I had one thing that I want to say about the knife, this is the original one. And this just looked classic. It's the Big Bro Barlow. Again, this was £80 delivered. This is beautiful. The lovely 3 rings. Really, really missed a treat, I think, by not even putting a single ring there would have looked better, or a double, or but a single probably would have looked better for the size of them bolsters. It would have finished it off and made it look as excellent as this one does. This has no faults in my eyes, and the looks are fabulous. But that very small detail. If you want a really good working knife, beautiful. But next time, put a wee ring on her. Put a ring on it. It will just add to the beauty of the knife. I really do. I can't say enough about it. Really like it. So let's talk about the pattern. I have a couple of patterns. I've had 2 that I've had for a long time. And I don't know why I've never invested in more of the pattern, but probably because the simple fact is this one. This is the Boker. This is the club knife. Equal end, beautiful desert ironwood, the shield, little ring on either side just makes all the difference. Now this has a lovely, I'm a swedge man, so I like the bigger swedge compared to that. There's a little bit of a cant downward on this, which I really like, but I'm being pedantic here. This knife is fantastic. You can see where this is just as straight as they go, and this one has the little decant down the waist. Can you see it there? You can just see where it goes down. And all that does is makes it easier to get to this position. So if you see my hand there, and then my hand with this one, it's much lower down. So you get the point down a little bit easier. Look, is that going to bother me? No. This knife is fantastic. Now, price-wise, I mean, this is one of my favourite knives, and I've always said it in all my collection videos or whenever I show this knife. This to me is a perfect pocket knife. Absolutely perfect. It's UK legal, so that means it's under 3 inches, the blade. The blades on these are basically the same size, same thickness, very similar. The knife itself, this has a little bit of a slight swell either side, and it's very slight. But other than that, they just match each other beautifully. This has got the little extras that this doesn't have, but there's a big price to pay to get them with a Boker. Now this is a European knife, made in Europe, made in Germany. So this isn't a Chinese model. That this is not that there's anything wrong with that at all. But so you're having to pay European prices rather than Chinese prices. This costs about £130 to buy. This was 80. That's £50 of a difference. That's a hell of a saving. This blade behind the edge, and I haven't got one of them machines anymore. I don't do that. Behind the edge, a little bit thick, a little bit thinner behind the edge. Absolutely fine. They're both great slicers. They're both great users. This one's N690. And this one's 14C28N. I can't say that I've ever noticed a difference between these 2 steels. If it is, it's not worth talking about in my eyes. They're both really great penknife steels. Really, really good. And I like both of them. I just love this knife. This is what I call a gentleman's knife, and so is this. Because it's not threatening. It doesn't have that really pointy. It comes out and it just looks like something you're going to do something nice with rather than something aggressive. For the sheeple, again, I don't agree with them, but I don't want to upset them. There's so much trouble with knives worldwide at the minute. So many being used for crime. But I just think it's beautiful. The shield is amazing. Not a fault whatsoever with that shield. No, it's just, you literally can't feel it. There's no feel. I couldn't tell you where the bone and the shield meets. Maybe if it was cold, you'd maybe get the colder shield, but can't say. Can't say that I've noticed it at all. But love it. Absolutely love it. So, Jack Wolf, fair play to you, Ben. You're doing a great job. Really missed that wee ring, though. Silly, isn't it? Silly. I'm saying the knife is absolutely fantastic, yet as a reviewer, I'm picking up on a tiny little thing. And if that's the only thing I can whinge about, I'm sorry, this knife, everybody should have one of these in their collection. You know, for that price, it's absolutely worth it. The little extras on this are something that I like, the little extra bits on this. The Desert Ironwood's lovely. The nail nick has got the matte strike pull on it. It's got a bigger swedge. It's got the two threaded bolsters, top and bottom. Again, the fit and finish in this is every bit as good. It's a thinner knife. Not a whole lot, but it is still thinner. And with this little slight sort of swell, and it's not a swell centre, it's just an ever so slight swell, just fits in the hand. Little bit better. There's a bit of difference in that depth. But you're going to pay £50 more for this. And if you're like me and you love this, I don't regret this at all. I think it's fantastic. This, I just think is, I mean, it really is. I just have to say it. It's just like my Rosecraft. The fit and finish is fantastic. The pattern is fantastic. I love it. I really do love it. And I'm looking forward to getting an example of a Rosecraft in this pattern. I hope they really do bring out a equal end cigar pattern knife. I really hope they do, because then we can put them to the test. You know, it's fantastic. I know. I think you can tell I love the knife, and I love both them knives. This is now going to be my working model of this. This will be my nice occasion. Keep it nice and tidy. This one's going to get thrown in my pocket without it'll probably not have a sheath on it. This one will, because I just like to keep it, and I've had it for years now, and I use it. I don't abuse it at all, but I do use it, and I just love it. So I've now got, we've got 80 quid, we've got 130 quid, and I'm going to go to the far end of the market, to a budget one. And I bought this years ago. If you're with me, you'll know it's one of those fish things, and it says on the blade, now this is a fat cigar. This is a Churchill cigar, a big fatty with a fat stubby blade on it. This is one of 500. I must have seen 5 million of these since I've been in YouTube. So a typical Chinese font. But it's lovely. A bit of abalone here. Lovely jig bone, I have to say. Fantastic jig bone. Fit and finish, pretty good. Really pretty good. Now, it's got a little bail on there. But again, if you want a little stubby work knife that you can really put some beef in behind it, this is perfect. No idea what the seal is. It'll be a number seal, a Chinese number seal, I would have thought. But it takes a great edge, and it holds it a fair amount of time, I'll have to say. It really does. Just a big fatter version of these two. So again, a super budget option knife for your dough. So, and last but not least is another new knife. I've only had this other one. I've had that since, when did I get it? Thursday. Was it Thursday? Thursday or Friday? Yeah, Thursday I think I got. Yeah, Thursday I got it. Sorry, yeah, I put it on the show Thursday night. But super. And if you haven't tried an equal end, please do. And especially if it's your first knife, there's an £80. I know it's quite expensive if you're just around, but if you want one that will match anything else out there, that's, to me, that's the one. So the next one upgrades them. My eyes only, but it's this one. Now these are about 3 3/4 inches closed. This one's about 4 inches closed, and this is an Ashley Harrison. And it's more like that Granddaddy Barlow size of a handle, a full 4 inch handle, and it's a 3-inch blade. Now, not cutting edge, but it's a 3-inch blade, and it's a pen. It's a slim pen, so you can see the difference. There you go. It's a slim pen, a little bit longer in length, which makes up for it. I mean, this is for those who have got ham fists. I mean, with that 4-inch blade, I mean, I have a large hand. I have a full grip fully, it's full back to the end of my hand. It gives me a lovely grip. Now I can sneak up a bit and I'll have bits sticking out, but I don't need to. I don't need to. This is well sprung, well put in, nice opening, lovely half stop, beautiful, just absolutely lovely. Locks up. Now it's not a super tight lockup. Larger knives tend not to be, but it's a lovely pen. Just a lovely spear or pen. I mean, I would tend to call that a spear and this a pen. But again, it's equal-ended. And you can see it's got a couple of rings on the bolster, which just elevates it. Beautiful hand jigged. Beautiful hand jigged. The liners, and my camera's that bad, I don't know where you can see it. They're coined all the way round. The brass liners are coined. And it's got handcraft on the spine from Ashley, which is just beautiful. This is stunning. This is stunning. And for that stunning thing, you're actually not paying that much more. You can probably get this for somewhere between the 150, 170, depend on what you want on the back springs and things like that. Usually around, say roughly 170 for a custom-made, handmade knife by one person. That is just amazing. And you can see the fit and finish in this is immaculate. Immaculate, as Ashley's is. And you can see, can you see that there? The coining just adds such a lot to the knife. I really loved that. This was Mikey's pick for the three of us. This time it was Mikey's pick for a knife, and absolutely fantastic. Lovely. Just by far the best walk and talk out of them all. But I would expect that. But I'm only paying, above this, we're talking another 40 quid max above this. So there's sort of 40 between these two and then 50 between that and the new Jack Wolf. You can see the difference in handle there. It's a big handle. But your choice. The blades are not that much bigger than each other. But this one's just, I think, for the larger hand, this is a perfect option. An absolute perfect option. For the budget in you, and you want these, this was under £20 when I bought it, so it was quite a while ago. But I think there's a just run through what the Churchill pattern, the cigar pattern, the equal end pattern. I mean, everybody calls these, well, not everybody, but a lot of people call them different things. To me, equal end's pretty good. Or the one that I'll tend to go for is a cigar pattern, because that's what they look like. Straight cigar. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you're in any doubt about buying one of these, now my recommendations are on this knife only. I don't know what everybody else is like. I've heard pretty good reports, and the reports I've heard are, definitely worth it. For £80, I think that's one of the nicest little knives you're going to get. There you go. Paddy's Way, and I'm not sponsored by Jack. I paid cash for this, so I'm not sponsored. I just think it's very good value, and I bought the last two of them and couldn't be happier. So there you go. Take care. Paddy's away for a wee cup of tea. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I'll speak to you shortly. Take care now. Bye-bye.